All right. So we want to welcome y'all to the Convo. 216, give yourselves a round of applause for coming out. All right, so we've had a very interesting week. It's been a crazy week in entertainment. So we'll get into a little bit of all of that. We got some special guests in the building. One of which poured out my liquor. Listen, it became mine once you brought it and gave it to me. Then you start sharing. So we'll talk about that. But Wall Street West, man, how you doing?
What's going on? Please allow me to respectfully introduce myself. I go by Wall Street West. Nice to meet you, ladies. I already know the gentlemen, so ladies, nice to meet you.
Oh, he get a hey. Wait a minute, we start this shit over, nigga. I'm about to ride.
Right.
Hey, ladies, how you doing? My name is Jerry.
Come on up, man.
It's nice to meet y'all. Ladies, how y'all doing? Y'all looking good? Y'all good tonight?
Hey,
all right. Man, so
he wanted to have a very response.
Alright.
That was very like selfish. I'm gonna say that. Like, but Wes, man, how was your week, bro?
Oh man, I had a great week, man. Just Mic check. Yeah, I had a great week, man. Just, letting life teach me firsthand, man. You know what I mean? All my lessons, I gotta learn firsthand, so it ain't cool learning the firsthand, but nonetheless, that's how I learned. So, God just, answer my prayers, taking me to the next level, man. That's one thing. We always want to get taken to the next level. But a lot of times we don't take time out to prepare for the next level. We spend all our energy wanting it so bad that we should be spending that time preparing. Just knowing the Most High won't give it to us if it's in our heart for real, man. But we don't spend enough time preparing for the next level. So that's what I experienced, man. So just got to tighten up for this next level.
Hey, man, we call that growing pains where I'm from.
Right, growing pains.
No pain.
No pain.
None of us are perfect, you know what I'm saying? It's all a process. So you got to appreciate the process, respect the process, and know that, you know what I mean, like if you stay diligent to the cause, everything's gonna work out.
Right.
So let's talk about a couple things before we bring our special guest up, who I really can't wait to speak with. What you think about this week of in our culture? We got the president who stopped tax returns.
Right.
I think really right now, personally, that the people who voted for that guy are starting to really realize that shit really is about to get real.
Right.
And I mean, you start messing with somebody's money, that's when the game changes, brother.
All right. I think that's my emotions. Hey, but you making that comment goes right into, our topic for the day. As far as Trump goes. Now the conversation right now, the biggest topics on the table in America is Trump and R.Kelly, right? So this is my perception. First, we're gonna put a disclaimer on the table that nobody here at the Convo 216 will ever, on no day ever, say it's okay for any type of underage activity with children. We're gonna put that disclaimer on the top so everybody out there know that we all have a positive perspective on things. But my mindset when it comes to Trump and R. Kelly is this. We are in a land where it's promoted that anybody can be anything.
True.
I don't care who you is, man. This is America, the land of the home of the free, home of the brave. I don't care who you is, you can be anything in this world. That's what's promoted on. So I look at it like it's pros and cons to everything, and when you find yourself in situations like the R. Kelly situation, even Trump, it's the cons of America, being America, where when it comes to R. Kelly, I believe that.
You can fly.
Now, this is my only personal opinion that if you look at the culture R. Kelly came from, Chicago. Now, the culture in that Chicago is pimping.
Yep.
Now, you let somebody from that culture become icon status where he was gonna pimp regardless. But whether he was the R&B king of America, his whole mindset growing up in that culture was just like he was bred in it. And I'm not saying it's cool. I'm just going to mindset. You know what I mean? Just the same way if you let somebody from the projects have a whole bunch of money and then he get to be who he really wanted to be in the first place. You feel me? So it's like even with Trump tripping the way he is, that's who he is as a person. That's his mindset. So it's just like when we let people who got a mindset that we don't mess with on no levels into the type of positions, it's the pros and cons of America being America, man. You're gonna let some good people into your hearts, you're gonna let some bad people in your hearts based on the fact that anybody can rise to power. You know what I mean? Scarface tells you that over and over again, man. America's the place where I don't care who you is as a person, man, you can rise to power, man. And we find ourselves in those positions when you see R.Kelly or Trump, where the most grand hustlers that put themselves in the top position. So now we looking like, damn, this is messed up. But if you really look at it, man, like, it's a consistency in America, man. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't nothing to agree with or to applaud, but it's like it's pros and cons and everything, man. If a young black kid from Hawaii can become president, then a pimp from Chicago can become legendary. You know what I mean? It's America.
That's true. I just look at it like, from my own personal perspective, the kid shit puts you on a different level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that puts you in a whole other light for me. Everything else, we as grown folks gotta take responsibility for our own shit. And it's a lot of grown folks, as I'm watching the documentary, that's putting themselves in those situations. I'm watching it, and they're not saying, oh, he chained me to the bed and every time he left. No, he locked the door and he left out the house. I finally got tired one day and I left. How'd you leave? Oh, I opened the door and I called an Uber. So you had the free will to leave this whole time, but you chose not to.
Right.
I look at it like we live in a society where fame is the most deadliest drug that we can take is God. And people are so in a hurry to get next to the next person that I don't know, it baffles me. As much as I was watching the documentary, everything that I kept thinking about it was really going back to you put yourself in that situation. Tell me if I'm wrong, ladies.
Oh yeah, because I don't necessarily agree.
Hold on, hear me out on this.
Okay.
Everybody's story was pretty consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's story said they dated for a little while. When he wanted to take it to the next level, he told them what the rules were. Although they may not have agreed, they decided to go along with it. And then a year later, they're fed up, and then now they want out. Have I lied yet?
No.
Well,
Okay.
you don't get a decision when you're under 18. It doesn't.
No. I'm not talking about. Yeah, we're not talking about. Let's be clear. This whole conversation has nothing to do with the kids. We're talking about the grown folks. I don't even want to open that whole can of worms.
Right.
So everything that we're discussing right now is only involving grown-ups.
Right. And
When
when
it
you say
came to
grown-ups, can you be clear? What do you mean? What age are you talking about?
18 and over.
Okay.
All right. So just so we clear, but all the women, the 35-year-old, the 19-year-old, the 27-year-old, all their stories were consistent. He was cool. He gave the rules. The minute they accepted those terms, then it went to a different level. Let's get back to one part. How many people in here seen the movie Great? What is it? 50 Shades of Grey.
Yep. Same
Okay.
thing. Gave it a rule.
It's the same philosophy.
But they were consenting adults.
Correct.
No. Come on, 18 and up. 18 and up. Okay.
Yeah. Once again, we're only talking about the grown folks because those are the only people that I took issue with as far as the show goes. Anything involving kids, like I said, that took it to a different stratosphere.
Correct.
So I don't want to open that can of worms.
You're right.
But I just want to, like, at face level, let's talk about it. Let's be grown folks. If we gonna keep it 100, we gonna keep it 100. A lot of those women put themselves in that situation because he was R.Kelly.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
I know some niggas that have put themselves in that position for R.Kelly.
Right.
Right, dude, man. That's like you remember Jamie Foxx had the joke about Prince, like don't look at the Prince eyes.
Right. Like,
Like when you powerful like R. Kelly, man, like you can do whatever you want, man. Like,
But
you can do
he's
whatever you want.
charismatic like that, though.
Yeah,
'Cause I went
he
to-
uses
you guys
good
took
for
me to
bad.
R. Kelly.
Most pimps are.
I went to
Right.
R. Kelly concert for my birthday, and he was all over us right here. So he was,
Right.
3 years later, how are you feeling? Are you okay?
Right. You was over 18, you ain't 17.
Did he touch you?
What I did,
It's just a situation where you feel good for
but
bad.
that's who he was. Now, as long as we're talking about consenting
Yes.
adults,
Right, shit.
I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like the younger women, the older women, 18 and above, like the limelight of who he was,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
So if you didn't like what he was, we have the choice to say no.
Amen.
Exactly.
So I feel like they should have said no, especially when he was coming at the 33-year-olds, the 35. When the lady was like, I'm 35, I'm looking at her like, why didn't you
He's
leave?
like, somebody get this jigaboo away from me.
So at that point, I feel like I'm not giving him a pass, but I'm understanding where he's coming from.
Mhm.
You want to be in the limelight of who he is. That's just like any basketball player, football player,
Amen.
going forward.
Exactly.
What they like to do is say, I want to be in this limelight because they're so amazing and they make this money and I want to be out here.
Exactly.
Right.
But then what the problem is I get is that society now is trying to make rape a black thing.
Right.
Bill Cosby,
Well, we're gonna talk about
they're putting
that.
a face
like
on
her.
Bill
Oh, yeah.
Cosby.
I like
Right.
her, bro.
Donald Trump is trying to show that take the spotlight off me. Let's put R.Kelly on the front burner, right?
Distraction.
Distraction. So I think that we as a society need to look at the smoke screen.
I got you.
Right, right.
Because
I'm,
oh,
okay,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, cause I've been itching over here.
Uh-oh.
I would have to disagree, not wholeheartedly,
Okay.
but so this is the only thing that I totally understand. When you are 33, you definitely have the conscious decision to say yes or no. But we also know that he preyed on weak-minded women, right? So if you are weak-minded and you constantly have, everybody in here agrees that R.Kelly is the superstar. The whole documentary said he was a musical genius, and to even come in contact with somebody like an R.Kelly, like a Prince, like a Michael, to come in contact with that kind of person. And even though, yes, I am 33, 35, I am above 21, right? But to have someone, right, because now I am, at some point, they have to take accountability, yes, but you have to also see their side of being, their mind, they were played with in a lot of different ways. I'm going to tell you how he knew, because it wasn't only adults. He don't want to go to this point, but it was the children that he was definitely taking advantage of. Aaliyah, she was 15.
He excluded the kids.
Right, but what you
So how do you know
have,
that the grown women was weak-minded? You say he preyed on
weak-minded
People
women.
didn't have family support.
Exactly.
R. Kelly and Ray Ray down the street.
But the difference is he's in the limelight. The difference is he's in the limelight and he should be held accountable for. But I definitely see. The thing is, I agree with the whole Trump making it a whole big deal about R. Kelly. I understand that, but what I'm saying is, you have something to say? No, okay. What I'm saying is, I feel like he should definitely, like there should be no excuse. If you are taking advantage of a woman, if she says, so who are we to say that your story isn't true?
But we have the right to say no.
We do have the right to say no.
Every man in St. Clair should go to jail. Yeah, I'm just saying, I am a teenage mother, right? Looking for love. But I would not ever fall into a trap.
But how can you say that? How can you say that for these
I never
women?
did.
Hold on, wait,
You
wait.
never did.
All right, so look, this is
That
what-
doesn't mean
wait,
that
wait.
they never did.
Sorry,
Because at the end of the day,
That's true.
you know right from wrong in your internal.
But who are you to say that? You cannot
Wait,
say that
hold
for
on,
another
okay, all right,
woman.
wait.
You
Okay,
cannot
wait. So look,
say that for
all right,
another.
so let's do this, okay? At the Convo, we got rules.
Okay.
All right. Everyone has a perspective and an opinion.
Absolutely.
So, and we definitely hear, you know what I'm saying, like, we gonna get to the root of this, but we gotta respect everybody's perspective and their opinion.
Sure.
The dope thing about us, and you'll see it as the conversation evolves, is that everyone's perspective is going to come to light, and then we're all going to come to our own realization as to how to move forward from here. We're not just talking about this to talk about it. They're doing that on TV.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about it so everyone is watching, everyone that's here can take this back into their everyday life and discuss what they've learned to get past the situation. We're not dwelling in this situation. So, to get to what you're saying, you might not like what I'm about to say, but it's facts, and it's true. Niggas use game every day.
Females do too, more than us.
They do too.
Yeah.
But and when it comes to relationships
All the time.
of any kind, no matter if you're a superstar, you're a drug dealer, you're a regular dude, whatever, if you got the gift of gab, that's your tool in life.
It's gonna work.
He used, in my opinion, his tool for evil purposes.
Agreed.
But I mean, like, everyone got mad because I said this. If we was to look at each and every single one of you guys' life and say, oh, she likes to get her toes sucked, and put that shit on the news, you're going to feel some kind of way about it, because you know what? That's your own personal thing that you like.
Exactly.
That man likes
Because his shit
having
was on Front Street,
his
his
women
bad.
be obedient. That's his fucking thing. That's his
was down
equivalent of you
behind
get your
the
toes
In
sucked.
2019, you gotta be R.Kelly to get a woman to listen.
But, oh, God.
Right.
And this took an unexpected turn. All right.
Hey, get it going.
And the views and opinion of Wall Street Right. But I say that to say that, and it's not saying that it's right or wrong. What I'm saying is, if that's that man's thing, that's his fucking thing. If it didn't work out the way that you wanted it to work out, and you put him on
That's on
blast
you.
because you're not in that situation that you wanted to be in, how you wanted to be there,
That's what it is.
that shit's not fair for you to hold
It didn't work
that
for
guy
us.
accountable because you opted into that.
Exactly.
At
He
the
gave
time,
you-
they was with it.
Listen,
Flat
he
out.
did not stop her from leaving. The one girl said, I waited at the airport and I kept
26
calling.
years later.
And I kept saying, if he answers, I'm going back.
Right.
That nigga looked at the phone and let her ass go. He's not holding nobody against their will. They don't want to go back to their damn greedy ass parents. If you did not look at their parents and just dissect why they were on fucking TV at that moment, there's something wrong with you.
Yes.
I'm looking at them all, and then I did a little bit of research, and then I'm following the Instagram investigators, and everybody's coming to the same conclusion. It's about money at the end of the day. They pimping their daughters out. Oh, you got my daughter, but you can't pay our mortgage for a month? Come on, man. This shit is more than don't take it at face value. Because at face value, at first, the first night, I couldn't fucking sleep. There was something about that eerie ass music that was playing in the background. And the way the production quality of it was amazing. But when you get to what the story was about, and you really get to the people that's in the story, they played themselves.
Yes.
Can you
You know what I'm saying?
share a little bit?
Go ahead.
Can share about it?
Can I just,
For some of us that have yet to catch up because they've been preoccupied with other things.
Sorry, because you have a life.
Yeah, I'm still kind of, and me and my man here, I'm still in the dark.
I'm not worried about it. I'm saying the truth.
Alright,
I
so-
didn't realize that
R.
R.
Kelly
Kelly
doing his life is his life.
was still that relevant, and I didn't realize that he grabbed headlines.
I got you.
So, can we be brought up to speed as to what
All right, so-
actually
Yeah,
happened?
because you can't be
Alright.
ignorant about it. If you're
yeah,
ignorant
so we can
about
fill everybody in.
yeah.
All right, so look, to fill you in,
Yeah.
basically the documentary was covering women that R. Kelly had dealt with in the past, present, and future.
Okay.
It starts off talking about the younger women that he was messing with that was underage,
Yeah.
which once again we are not talking about today.
Yeah.
But then it goes into pretty much this bedroom secrets, what the things that were going on behind closed doors, and which is what we're discussing right now.
Yeah.
Long story short, he has a stable of like 6 to 8 women that live with him. He's taken care of, but those women don't want anything to do with their parents. They're choosing not to talk to their parents. So their parents are at the forefront of this documentary, saying that he has a cult because he's not allowing the kids to talk to them.
Okay.
Well, the daughters don't really want to don't want to associate with the parents because, for whatever reasons.
When you're saying the term kids, are they of age or not of age?
No.
They're of age now that they're not talking to their parents.
Yeah.
But this was another like weird thing that I was like, wait, what? When the girl turned 18, that's when the communication stopped. Then she did her own thing. And then, hold on, wait. Another aspect that a lot of people didn't pay attention to was the girl went to her graduation. So she's handling her shit. She just don't want anything to do with her parents. Which, at that age, yes, you can be mentally manipulated and led, astray. But we all were at that age. You couldn't tell me shit when I was at 16, 17, 18. I figured out the matrix. So they're just going through that, and the parents are saying and trying to play it like
It's his fault.
it's his fault, when the longer I'm watching the documentary, it's proven that it's their fault.
Yeah.
So, that's to catch you up.
Yeah.
All right. So
Is there any way possible that this could be, I'm not gonna go as far, step out on a limb and say a publicity stunt, but.
Of course, it is.
But can we say that because he hasn't been really relevant in Billboard or hasn't dropped the #1 single in quite some time?
He didn't put it out. It was the parents that put it out.
Okay.
So, but
Hey, Sparkle just dropped a song though, and she was just on the documentary.
that's just smart on her end,
Who
though.
heard a song from her in 15 years?
But that's smart on her end, though. I would do the same thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Why
That's
not?
marketing purposes. If
Yeah.
you want to make some money,
Exactly.
you do something to make some money.
Why not?
But R. Kelly's record sales have went up since the
The
documentary.
more
Because,
money.
and I mean, like, this was the
believe
thing.
it.
I think it's cool off. I think he cool off the record sales.
Unless you turn something.
Well, the record sales, he's not getting the proceeds from the record sales
No.
because now he doesn't own the rights to his music.
Yeah.
He only makes money from touring. But
Which is
his
why he
record
stays
sales,
on tour.
that's right. But his record sales have skyrocketed since the video. So who put all of this out there?
Right.
Hey,
Somebody who was
saying?
standing to make money.
You know
Somebody
what?
would
There
want
was.
to make money in the background saying, let's put, but why are we not, okay, so then let's have one about the Catholic priests.
Exactly.
You see what I'm
But
saying?
that goes back to the point that you made earlier.
I think money is
You got time.
So no mic.
Yeah, no mic. Get your mic.
See if it should be on.
So here's my issue. I don't think we as a community do enough research.
Exactly.
There's been plenty of documentaries on the Catholic Church. There's been plenty of documentaries on Woody Allen, on Roman Polanski, on Harvey Weinstein. People say, well, Lifetime is a huge network. We don't see these. Yes, they have. You got Netflix? Type in Harvey Weinstein on Netflix. Type in Catholic Church. We care about R. Kelly because it's in our community. We don't care about Harvey Weinstein. He actually had more coverage. Google Harvey Weinstein as compared to R. Kelly. You're going to see more from CNN, from Fox, from all these major networks on him actually as compared to R. Kelly. So we care about this, don't get me wrong, because it's affecting our community. But one thing that we can't say...
One second, man. 1 second, because you're being extremely long-winded. And we
I
have a
am,
guest in the
because
building.
I'm
Hold on
about
1 second.
to...
We have a guest in the building. Ma'am, we have a guest in the building, and we're going to call her up right now to get her 2 cents on this, all right? So please, Miss Mykayla, can you please come to the stage, please?
But Miss Mykayla, before you start, everybody doesn't have Netflix.
Yes, they do.
Right.
No.
But if you don't, you always
I don't.
have access
I
to
don't.
libraries.
But
Don't,
guess what? And
don't you tell me
not
that
just
you don't have
Netflix,
access.
but guess what? R. Kelly's documentary was on what channel?
Lifetime.
Was on Lifetime. When they did the coverage on Harvey, when they did it on Woody Allen, when they did it on Roman Polanski, those were on channels as CNN. Those were on Fox. That was on HBO. So we didn't care about that. We didn't care about that because it didn't impact our community. If you Google Woody Allen documentary, if you Google Woody Allen right now, if you Google Harvey's incident, if you Google, whoever you think is a sexual predator or that's in the entertainment business, even the U.S. military, they have documentaries on that, but we didn't care about that as much because R. Kelly is somebody from our generation, that's somebody from our community. So I get it. We want to protect individuals that are black. But I'm going to disagree with you, or just say that one thing that I find odd is that you don't want to focus on the fact that he is a sexual predator. People in the audience didn't realize the youngest victim met him at the age of 12. If you watch the documentary on episode 3, she has pictures at her 8th grade basketball game, and she's holding the 8th grade baby trophy, and he came to her 8th grade basketball game. The woman who had a threesome with her said that she had to be about 13 or 12 because when the girl told her, hey, I want to buy a car, she was 15 at the time, and they had already had multiple threesomes. And he lied about her age because he knew it was wrong. So I don't think it's fair, one, that we aren't focusing on the younger victims, but when we do talk about the victims that are ages 18 and up, yes, we are consenting adults at this time because we're 18 and up, right? However, when you put things in place, such as, let me change your phone number, like his wife said he did. She had no idea he changed her number. Her whole entire family couldn't get in touch with her. Her number was changed. She had no idea that her number was changed. He locked her inside the bedroom. There were things that she was too afraid and too disgusted to share because he was this controlling monster that everybody talked about.
Okay.
They would have to ask to eat. They would have to ask, hey, can I go to sleep?
No, hear me out.
Can I get my hair done?
Hold on.
But that's not part of the obedience that y'all.
Hear me out on this though, right?
Where's the proof?
But where's the proof that he didn't do it?
Everyone is
That's my whole.
But I'm
That's what I'm saying.
Where's the
Listen,
proof in any of this except that he liked young girls?
But
Listen,
guess what?
hold on,
Guess
hold on.
what? As
Hey.
much as she said this happened, when Sparkle said, hey, we were there watching the Chicago Bulls game, we heard knocking on the door, everybody can attest
That's
this knocking.
proof.
And she had to say, hey, is it
But
okay if I
listen,
grab
hold on,
something
hear
to
me
eat?
out.
From one
Okay,
person,
wait,
that's
listen.
not proof.
Hear me out. Okay, so.
No, it's
So with him not speaking about it, that you
Okay.
take that as
Hear me
not
out.
being
Hear me out.
proof?
Wait. Dre, hold on. Wait.
Let him talk.
Now, and look, once again, let's be open-minded about this, right? There's, if you look at the way all the stories went, right, and I actually just came to this realization right now. If you look at the stories that were being told by each individual person, everybody said the same exact thing in the same exact order. Now, no. They dated. He gave them the rules. He said the thing about, whatever the rules were and whatever, and then he turns into this monster. Same exact order. If you go back and watch it, everybody said the same exact thing in the same exact order. Now, there's also a video out of one of the victims at a live rally speaking, and she doesn't really know the full story. They got one of the fathers off to the side, and he's feeding her lines.
Mouthing her lines.
And it's like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? They even zoom in. The reporter asks her a question,
That's cool.
she stumbles, you see him talk, and then she answers. So I'm saying it's a bigger play at hand than what we're really paying attention to. That's my only point. I'm not trying to dismiss the fact that he's a predator.
Right.
I don't know what's true, what's false. At face value, I say that's fucked up, and that's where he crossed the line. But that's why I didn't want to discuss the younger victims because we're grown. You know what I mean?
Okay, but one thing that you said, JR, you said that you thought the underlying theme was money.
From the parents.
I don't agree with you at all. I think the underlying theme with everything is that Black women are not being protected.
I definitely agree.
Black women are not being protected. You can even look at the
But I
events
don't think that's only because of that. I believe this definitely highlighted.
I think it, yeah. It
But I
proves
don't
to the
believe
point
that it's just because of R.Kelly. I just believe.
Black women have not been protected. If you go back to slavery days, back when the slave masters used to get us out of our quarters, and 9 months later we have a baby that's a little more light-skinned than the people that's out in the field. Black women have never been protected since.
I wouldn't say
since
never,
years
but I
ago.
didn't say never
So,
protected. Never.
When can you think of a generation where the
that's
Black
a-
woman?
it's a
Look
open-
at you guys
Hold on,
now.
hold on.
You're protecting
You
R.
could-
Kelly because he's a
No,
musical
so what I'm saying, if somebody,
Okay,
what I'm saying is, if somebody came in here right now and creating y'all live, we'll fuck them around.
Okay, but as a whole.
As a whole.
As a
Yeah,
whole.
you're right.
But
When can you think
but
about?
you can't say every black woman isn't being protected. That's
No,
an
I'm not
over-generalized
saying.
statement.
I'm not saying
Right.
every Black woman. I'm saying Black women. When you look at the different cohorts, when you look at the different generations dating back to slavery, Black women, they're not believed. Hey, I was raped by XYZ. You know how in the judicial system is innocent until proven guilty? When a Black woman is saying
She's guilty until proven innocent.
she's guilty until proven
That's
innocent.
perfect.
Think about what Dre just said. How do you know this man? Dre's philosophy, no offense, best friend, your philosophy is guilty until proven innocent. Instead of, okay, let me hear you out, black woman. Let me see if this is true.
No.
Let me do
Wait,
X,
No,
Y,
that's
Z.
not what, well, hold on, Jay, I got you, Jay, I got you,
Yes,
wait.
I think
Jay, I
I
got you.
believe that what a woman says is
I
what
don't-
goes, even when the police show
Jay, I
up.
got
But
you,
you
hold on.
just said,
But
but
listen.
you just said,
Hold on, wait.
Even when the
just
police
said,
show up,
I
they take the
don't
woman's
think
side
it's
before the man.
not at
So
all.
what did you say?
Not at
What?
all.
What?
Not you just
I
said
said there's
that.
no proof in any of it from either side. That's what I said.
So you're saying, in
I said
essence,
from either, and
in
then she
essence,
said
you're saying guilty until proven innocent. In
on
essence.
both sides though. I'm not taking one
Who
side.
were you
All right, so
gonna
look,
say,
hold on.
But look, the overall, let's bring it home, because we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we all here together.
Yeah, true.
So, but here at the Convo, the thing about the Convo, this is a platform for adults to come together and share tools to advance in life. So the conversation about R.Kelly wasn't to sit here and debate R.Kelly. The conversation was put on the table so that we, not for the world, not for nobody else, but the people here in this room, so that we could be more mindful to protect our children.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To be more aware, because every female I've ever dated that's been put in a compromising position is never believed.
Right.
And that's something I feel like not just in the black community, but in this world, we brush off sexual assault too easily. So that's a conversation at hand. We're not here to debate R. Kelly. We're here to put a more mindful eye to us. In this room, we can be more protective of those that are in our protection right now in reality.
That's
You
real.
feel me?
That's real. That's
So
real.
that's a main focus, man. Like people say I'm overprotective, but it's just like if a kid in my presence, man, they ain't gonna get a paper cut. You feel me? Like I don't play that type of stuff, man. So it's just like as the people in this room, we having this topic on the table so that we could come together and start being more aware and start making sure that those around us is more aware of these kids for real, man.
Absolutely.
Real talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's real.
And
That's
that's
real.
really like,
That's real.
that kind of gets to it. It's just, our whole thing is, and what I was going at, speaking on that, is the fact that at face value, we feel one way. But the reality of the situation, I believe, is something totally different that we're not focusing on. And that by itself puts the black woman in a more fucked up situation than that documentary ever will.
Right.
Because let's say if it comes out that this was all some shit that they made up
Right.
to get him in trouble or whatever. Now that completely discredits the whole race. Because now we definitely gonna push it into question. Why? Because it was done on such a large platform that we can't overlook it. Oh, y'all lie about everything. I saw that shit. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
So that's the point that I'm trying to make. If there is a bigger player ahead, that's fucked up that they played it like that, because not only are real victims going to get overlooked, but those kids
Are gonna get overlooked.
are going to get overlooked.
And that's the problem that I have.
True.
What it should not have encompassed was the older women from 18
Because
and
that,
above.
exactly.
Let's
I didn't
focus
understand why they
on
were even
the
on the
young
documentary.
generation of children that he messed with, right? From Aaliyah and above. But we were okay with him messing with Aaliyah. Why?
Because we thought they were in
Because
love.
they were in love.
And
But
they
that's-
were cute couple.
that's
The same thing with Tyler, with Tiger and the Jenner girl.
The same thing with the
Same thing with Elvis,
Look
same
at Mike
thing
Tyson.
with
Mike
everybody.
Tyson
I
got
don't think
sent
we
to
can go
prison
back.
for a young woman who
Hugh
said
Hefner.
he raped me. But why were you in his room at 2:30 in the morning?
Exactly.
You see
Because
what I'm
she wanted to
saying?
be-
Because she wanted to be there. Because
she wanted to
he's
be-
famous. He's amazing.
Because she,
Right? So she wanted notoriety. I'm trying to be Miss USA. I want to be. So at the end of the day, we should have focused on only the children that were 17 and below that were not of legal age. But they encompassed everybody. Those older women from 17 and above, you know better. I don't care what you say. I don't care how weak you are. You know better.
But what if you didn't have the correct parental guidance?
I didn't.
I'm just saying. Don't smack your lips because it's true.
But I didn't.
Because I have friends who I went to high school with who were very promiscuous at a young age, and when I look back on it, it had a lot to do with their parental upbringing.
I bet.
My mom was very strict on me. I couldn't spend a night at friends' houses. I had a curfew at 10:30. However, I
But
had
that didn't matter
friends'
because
moms.
if you wanted to do
who
anything
could
with
care less or who either were too
But
strict
it's not.
and they felt rebellious.
I had a friend
You
that was
feel like you
strict.
wanna
Her
do
mom was
something with
strict.
your body, you gonna do
Do
it.
it.
Yeah, you gonna do it.
However,
Regardless of what age you
okay, but
have.
okay, but
It's
if
men
you're
that's
the-
out here that's been touched by
Okay.
women that didn't even that enjoyed it.
I
Because
agree.
an older woman touched them.
But
They
let's-
enjoyed it.
okay, now do you want to open? Do you want to open
I
that?
do.
Okay, so when you look at that, that's still molestation.
I'm not
Whether-
saying it's not.
Whether you had an ejaculation, whether you enjoyed it or not, the predator, who was the older woman who preyed on a younger child, they knew that.
Mykayla,
Come out,
They
you
knew
asked
it
me a
was
question.
wrong.
They knew it was wrong. They knew that that younger
Absolutely.
man was vulnerable. They knew that he would enjoy being with the older woman. So guess what they
Whoa.
did? He would like
They
this.
don't-
So let me go ahead and attack this younger man and let me make moves on
Whoa.
him because he's gonna like XYZ. So when you ask, okay, is it the same when an older woman attacks a younger man? I think that's just as
I didn't
sick.
say. I didn't ask.
I think that's just
I
as
didn't
sick.
say- I did not-
At first it sounded
So is that
like-
not-
I never asked that. What I said was this. This is what I said. You said, what if they're never taught that? Like she said,
No
at a
parental
certain
guidance.
age,
No
you
parental
know,
guidance.
You know
what you want to do.
What's
Can
the
we
word?
be that age when folks
Okay,
fall
and how
out?
many? Okay, and truthfully speaking, how many times have you known this is wrong, but I'm too afraid to speak up?
No, never.
Because I know.
Being the age,
Okay,
Absolutely.
because I can share
I
a
can
story.
attest that.
I can tell.
Absolutely.
y'all can't go off on how y'all was
Y'all
brought up.
y'all
Y'all
having two
hoes
different
like that.
conversations.
We talking about
Not at
big
all.
ass
Y'all having two
society.
different
Not at all.
conversations.
Not at all.
Y'all having two different conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, because if
No,
we're
no,
gonna
I'm
talk
talking
about
about
the,
something else.
okay, right, because we kind of deviated from the conversation, but you can't, even if you know it's wrong, if somebody's peer pressuring you, if you feel like this somebody is in front of me, this person has money, this person, look at the
You
one,
peer pressure
look
yourself.
at the one individual, look at the lady who had this threesome with me. Guess what? She's 16. Why did he have to lie about the young lady's age? She was 14. Because he knew it was wrong,
Once again,
right?
we weren't there. Hold on, wait.
Okay, you're
Once
right.
again,
We
weren't
talking
there.
about 18 and
And
over.
we
I'm
don't know,
sorry.
you know what I'm saying?
We're
Like,
talking about 18
We
and
talking
That's the
over.
part.
about 18 and over.
Exactly.
We're talking about
Listen,
18
I
and
came
over.
from a military background, a mother and a father. I still did wrong because I wanted to. Right?
Word.
I
We all
wanted
did.
to.
So my situation is a little bit different.
But
and in some of my friends'
And
situations,
some
consider
people
wrong.
some people come from a single family home, some people come from group homes. When you are of age, you know right from wrong. I don't care who
You know it from birth.
Yeah.
When you
So
Google
does that
yourself,
mean
But
So
even
does
if
try to
you
hide
know
it.
right from wrong,
So
even
does
if you
that
know right
discredit
from wrong,
every
at
woman?
what point, who are you guys to say, okay, now I should speak up or now I shouldn't? How do you know that person felt comfortable
because if that's the
enough to
case, you're
speak up?
discrediting sexual assault
How?
victims.
How can you say
You
that?
know, you can go home with a
No,
man
that's exactly what
because
it
he
is. Like
fit the
at
perfect
this age, you
description.
know right from wrong. You know to speak up. How can you say
because
that?
I know if I went to someone's
So,
house
so,
at
hold
17,
on, wait. But listen,
If I
wait.
was-
Okay,
But y'all speaking
okay,
on
guys,
the wrong person,
let's
how
pull it
wrong
in.
move person
Let's pull it in real quick.
So you can't say
All
that's
right,
her
all right.
because
What
you
am I
move
speaking
different.
on
Listen,
that?
listen,
That's
listen.
how you. That's still personal though.
Listen, hold on, wait,
That's my
all right.
quote unquote.
Okay,
All
JR
right,
trying to
listen,
bring.
listen.
Bring it on.
Let's will it in a little bit,
Hey,
guys.
why don't you interview the guests who here to
I know, we want to.
Well, no, this is such a.
let's get another shot going around.
can't hear it.
Wait, wait, listen.
I too much shots going around.
Hey, would y'all shut the fuck up? Everybody,
I love
shut
the
the hell up.
dialogue.
Everybody,
Shut up.
everybody.
Let's get another round of this cold blue going around.
All right, so real quick, man, let's segue this,
Right.
and we're gonna table this and come right back to it. All right.
Okay.
I don't think you can come back to it.
You know
But
what?
no,
Wait,
it's
hold on, wait,
important.
hear me out, guys. I think the only appropriate way to segue this segment is two things. A, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to the Rib Cage. We want to thank them for allowing us to be here today.
I'm the real family. What's the address of the real page for our live viewers?
What's the address, B?
2214 Lee Road.
2214 Lee Road. All right, so we got probably the best wings in the city. Check the flyer for the exact address if you forgot. Another shout out to Cold Brew Vodka.
Cold blue.
That's in the
Let's get another round of this going around.
As I was saying, I think it's only one appropriate way to segue this. Let's take a shot to relax people. And then let's get right into it. All right, so,
Can I get a cup over here, please?
Ralph, would you do the honors?
I'm gonna go get the glasses for y'all, man. Y'all go ahead
Yes,
and
right. Yes, no,
All right, so While Ralph is doing that,
West 25th too. I wanted to throw that
yes,
one out.
there's another location on West
Let
25th
you know
for the
real
rib
quick.
cage. Once again, the best wings in the city. I vouch for that. And yeah, let's get into this. Miss Mykayla, you kind of just jumped on the scene here, and let's introduce you to the audience. We just kind of pulled you up here because you was just in the audience taking over and everything, and we couldn't have it.
So I apologize for being so opinionated, but I love the dialogue back and forth. You know, I love when we challenge each other. It makes us think, and you know, it just, you know, it's still love at the end of the day. It just makes us think. But yes, my name is Mykayla, and my stage name is actually Mykayla as well. It's just spelled a bit differently.
Good at
Shout out
being
to your real
yourself.
name.
Good at being
I was
yourself.
like, stick with it, you know.
Right.
So I've actually been rapping since I was about 6 or 7 years old. I remember my first rap was "I'm the Queen of the World." I rapped it for my cousin Kim in my mom's basement, and I told her, please don't tell her because I'm cussing. And she's like, I won't tell her. And it was my very first rap song. I literally was about 6 or 7 years old. And so about a year ago, I told myself, listen, God gave you this talent not only to write, but come up with ideas and concepts, and want to take it seriously.
Real quick though, I saw a video that you posted probably about like 6 months ago of like a freestyle that you did. And I'm like,
Was
wait
it
a
the
minute.
birthday one?
And I'm like, she kind of dope. Like, I don't know if she's serious or not, but I'm like, we're feeling that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's dope that you actually like took it serious and you decided to push it. Now, the video that you just dropped is freaking amazing. Like,
Thank you.
that's what I call cinematography, and it's a great story that you told. How long did it take you to put that together?
So it took about 3 months or so from when I came up with the idea to recording it to actually filming it and editing it. When I first came up with the idea, I began writing, so my background is in film. So what I did was I actually began writing a screenplay for Set It Off Part 2. And I wrote it for my wife and our best friend. So it's like a clique of 4 of us, and we're very tight. So I said, you know, I'm gonna write a kind of a Cleveland version of Set It Off. So this was about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and I started writing it. But I put it on the back burner, and I never pursued it anymore. And when I heard Lil Wayne's Part 5, I actually was in the car with my best friend Dre Watton, and we were in the car with friends and family. And the track that stood out the most was that Mona Lisa. And I told Dre, I was like, I'm about to write a cover to this right now. So he was the one that actually told me, you know, best friend, take your time with it. You know, come up with something raw, come up with something legit, because he came hard in this. You gotta come up with something good. So when I found myself writing the cover to Mona Lisa, I felt myself writing the script that I actually had came up with 1.5 years ago to Set It Off Part 2. So what I did was kind of combine both concepts, and it was about October that I actually began penning it, and then November when I recorded it, December when I started filming it, and late December, early January when I started editing it, and then it dropped on January 4th.
Nice, man. Like, once again, dope story. Like, I'm watching it, I'm like, yo, like, this shit is crazy. You know what I mean? Because that's a nigga worst nightmare for real.
It is. I had so many guys tell me, like, I never trust a bottle girl or a bartender after watching that.
Because
I was about to say, I had that first mindset when I seen it. I was just like, I'll never trust a bottle girl again. And 10 minutes later, I was off in the bottle girl's face. I grew up real fast.
What's up, baby? What's up, baby?
Maybe in my next lifetime, I won't trust you as much. But I love your energy, man. I love your sound. What part of Cleveland are you from?
So I'm from the southeast side of town. I grew up on 116th in Princeton. I went to A.B. Hart Middle School, South High School, Baldwin Wallace College, Cleveland, born and bred. Yeah.
You gotta be up the way to say something like that.
Up the way, very up the way. I didn't want to put that acronym on it.
Oh yeah, I understand. I'm from the HBD block. I understand. Already in the building. Deli boy.
Alright, so let's do this real quick, man. We're gonna take
We
this
toasting
straight
to y'all.
straight to the
We toasting.
chaser. Shouts out to Cold Blue Vodka, our official sponsor. And this is to progression.
Progression.
Beginning of 2019, you know what I'm saying? This is to big things. You know what I'm saying? Clear minds, great hearts, and amazing friendships.
Hey, on my mama.
I gotta give it to you, bro. You got you one on your hands. You got you one.
Look, we gonna put that movie together for y'all, you know what I mean? Get some
Last time you came through with it,
We're gonna put that code
I'm like, man, I was
in the
so
next video.
smooth. I was like 5 minutes from home and it just hit me. I'm like, oh. I was cool for like 5 hours.
And look, we did the whole show. The minute the show wrapped, it was like, oh, goddamn.
I remember me and Star just looked at each other and became drunk at the same time.
Oh, shouts out to Star. You know?
Shout out to Star, Katie Star, man. Our love is always with you, baby girl.
Alright, so what's next for you? You know what I mean? I know we're talking about this project. Is this a whole work of art that you put together? Or?
So that's a good question. When I first came up with the concept of Set On or Off, it was just supposed to be a cover to that Lil Wayne song. I mean, I jotted down a few ideas about what if in the future, but I never thought I would use them. But the public has spoken.
Right.
I've been getting so many comments, DMs, people just calling me and saying, look, you gotta capitalize on this. You gotta take this to the next. I want to see what happens next. If Slim's boys come after you, if you and your girls end up, you know what happens next. So I've officially decided to actually come up with a Set On or Off Part 2. And I had a company reach out to me and said, look, we want to sponsor it. We want to help you out with resources. We love it so much. So expect something soon in the next 2 or 3 months.
Look at God work.
I
man.
know, right?
Give a
It
round
was
of
just
applause.
an idea.
Alright, so you know, as you're casting for that next project,
No, I got
you
you.
know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you know,
So
like
we gonna come in here when y'all doing a live
Right.
podcast.
we got that, you
I
know,
want all the recording equipment.
like, nigga, oh,
All
let me
the
get to the car.
converters, all the
Right. I
microphones.
had a monologue I had prepared. I wanted to audition. I need my money. That's all I got. My acting teacher be pissed about doing my monologue for real.
So you said your background is in film. Are you doing like more with that? 'Cause look, let me tell you,
Yeah.
the way that this was laid out, I'm like, yo, like this is more than a video. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now it all makes sense that you said that it evolved from a script.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, like I think you should push both of them.
And I want to. I get in the habit of feeling like I gotta do one thing at one time, perfect that, and jump on the project that I started before. So I guess I just gotta see how I evolve. My debut album is called The 20th Summer. So I have that. I also have a book that I'm working on that's untitled. And then I have a script that I started working on called I Love My Junkies. It's a very interesting
Is it about
script.
weed?
It's not about weed, but it's about a particular drug. It's very prevalent within the Cleveland area. But I don't know. I'm working on so many things at once. But what I wanted to do was. But I'm definitely trying to put more focus into the music right now. Just because I put it on the back burner for so long. What I did was I released a song called 2BB, which stood for 2 Bad Bitches. So I did right. I did that a couple years ago, and I got this shy side of me. You know, I'm very social in my group of friends. I finally, I was shy when it came to my music because I was afraid of public perception, of rejection, whatever. And I don't know. I guess 2BB, it had its parts. It had people that perceived it well, but then it had the people who knew me on my professional side who said, hey, you supposed to be working for this company and you doing X, Y, Z. Why you putting out records like that? So I said, let me just begin my rap career. You know, it took me years to finally say fuck people. I was like, it made me sad. Like, damn. You know, the dean of the college came to me, my bosses came to me. I saw that video you put out. You supposed to be. So I was like, I'm not doing rap no more.
I didn't tell you what you're supposed to do.
Right,
What college is that?
You know, I had a very important position at.
You was the dean.
I wasn't a dean.
You was a
but it was
deanette.
a nice position. It was a nice position for a local community college, and I was also consulting for a lot of schools within Cleveland Public Schools and Akron Public Schools.
Bricks.
So when they saw this 2 bad bitches side of me, it's like, who the fuck is it? You know.
Are you consulting people on how to be a bad bitch?
It's all about the line.
So I was like, it wasn't meant for me. I'm gonna just go ahead and just be this this professional XYZ. And it took for my wife and for people like Dre and my family, like, listen, God wouldn't give you this talent for you not to use it. Like, so what? You talk about, you got layers, you know? So you should be able to be Kayla that can talk about having fun, kicking it, Kayla that can talk about something conscious, Kayla that can inspire the kids. You got layers to you. Everybody does. So that's what it took. And I was like, you know what? You're right. So 2018, I was like, fuck it. Found me some studio time at Top of the World. Shout out to Matt. I had my best friend come to the studio with me, wife, and pen some songs. And I'm like, XYZ, they helped me out with my sound, kind of helped me develop my look. And I was like, I owe it to myself to at least just give it a try.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I know it's kind of long, but to answer your question, I'm trying to focus a lot on the music first, but I also have a lot that I'm working on the side as well.
How do you plan on like pushing your music? If you don't have a clear plan,
can you help me out with it? I'm about to say, come on now, I need your help because
so look, the plan is so simple, right? I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you in such a way that it's gonna be like a Baby Shark song.
Okay.
So look,
I'm gonna give you a soundtrack after that. You tell me.
because this is the part with right. This is the part that a lot of artists they kind of miss. I don't say a lot of artists, but I believe this is so important. Like being in the studio, things of that nature, that's valuable. But once you get your art, your collective work that you really want to push, your only job after that is to let people know you exist. You know what I mean? There's no science to it. I know guys who be in studio all day long but won't get out here and let people see the person behind the music for real, man. So it's just like, it's going to take some days where you're going to get all work. You have to come up to the convo like now. You know what I mean? You gonna push it.
Let's talk about some other topics. We got
That's it to the simplest form. Just let people know you exist, man.
I got a challenge for you because we need an intro song.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we really do need an intro song. We don't have nothing. Like, we just, hey guys, how you doing? Like, we just start. Like, there's no lead up, no build up. We barely introduce ourselves.
I thought we was to build up.
So, yeah, you know, I mean, I just put it out there. If, you know, you and Dre want to collab on an intro song for the Convo.
So we need to come up with the jingle, Dre.
So right now, if possible, Dre, before you leave.
That's what we all heard, bro.
We need your ear. We need your ear.
You guys should see Dre in the studio. He be doing his little fingers like, right, you
Dre
know.
not human for real.
Oh,
Dude not human for real.
Amazing.
I'm
He
around.
can spit. Even though Dre's a singer, we be having our freestyle sessions. I'm like, what you doing rapping? And he'd come through. Dre got lyrics
That's my
for
best
real.
friend. That's my best friend.
See, look at y'all. Y'all was about to fist fight a couple minutes ago.
Oh,
See, you got nothing to go on relationship.
Even me and my wife, sometimes we
gotta challenge each other.
And that's one thing that I love that you guys are doing here because everybody won't agree, but what it does is it makes you go back home and it makes you wonder, okay, let me do my research on XYZ because I'm gonna be honest, when I leave here, I'm gonna be like, well, how many victims were over the age of 18? You know, it's gonna make me research, it's gonna make me, you know, think about Esther's point of view, Kenya's point, you know, so I don't be dogmatic when it comes to my perspective. And we do this all the time. We challenge each other on topics. We get mad, we get frustrated. At the end of the day, okay, I hear you out. It's your perspective.
And then the most valuable thing, the most valuable thing it teaches you, you know, and that's something that we exercise here at the Convo is, you know, everybody knows how to talk, but not everybody knows how to listen. You know, when you hold a conversation, if I'm talking to you and you speaking to me, I'm not sitting here thinking about a rebuttal. Like I'm sitting taking the time out to listen, and then if I'm listening, I'm not automatically responding immediately because it's not resonating.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's just like you hear other people's topic. My biggest rule is I never argue with somebody about what they believe in. You feel me? Like I can.
Entitled to your perspective.
Yeah, this world is so complex, man. Like your world is your world. So like you to talk, I'm taking time out to learn. I may not agree with it, but it's, at this moment, I'm not looking to talk. I'm looking to listen.
That's a skill.
You know what I mean? Like these is tools all these things. So
because most people break up because of that. You know, because they
They
don't have
average
that
person.
master. But the fact
they
that
so
you know
everybody
what it is,
everybody want to be understood so bad, but nobody trying to understand. You know, so it's like we can argue so many different. Right, we can argue so many topics. Like when I see somebody like R.Kelly, not to go back to that topic, I'm thinking like, that what happened to dude? Something happened to him. Where he got It's usually when people sexually assaulted, one or two things happen. Either you become a super freak, or you just shut down. You know what I mean? Like it's either two. Like you know what I mean?
And he was sexually assaulted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And his
Like,
brother.
It actually came out. It came out yesterday.
R.Kelly and his younger
It came out-
the middle brother and R.Kelly were sexually assaulted.
It came out yesterday that it was the
This
sister.
man was in love with his mom.
Yeah.
who was?
R.Kelly.
R. Kelly,
Like-
y'all ain't see that clip?
Yeah, I saw it.
I feel like this, bro, honestly. I feel like this when it comes to dude. I feel like when you brought up a certain type of way, it goes back to when I said earlier, everybody in here was raised different.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Facts.
So, when it comes to R. Kelly, I look back and I see, now that I look back as an artist, an R&B artist, and a student of R. Kelly, let's not forget that. Because R. Kelly in the music game is a GOAT, flat out. We're not going to take away from that. But when I look at what's coming out now, I look at this. His mom basically cared for him his whole life. So all he knew was spoiled. I get what I want from a woman. So when he got to the position that where, and as an artist, you're going to experience it. Certain doors open up. Certain doors open
Every
up that
door.
don't open.
You tell
That
me
don't
yes.
open for nobody regular. You feel me? So when I have access to, but I've been raised as such, yes, I might wild out. It's a sickness more so than he's a predator. That's how I look at it. Because he came out and said his mom made him fall in love with her. That's a different feeling.
And he,
As a man, that's a different feeling when you love a person that much.
Right.
So I feel like his love for the love that his mom put on him transpired into, oh, I can get what I want in life. And I finally, I'm a singer too. Oh shit, people gonna go crazy over me? Okay,
and not
well,
to
let me
mention
use
what
it
his sister
for.
did to him, which was sick as hell.
Exactly.
And like you just said,
So I look at it more so as a
his
sickness.
brother did an
She
interview
said
on
she
a
was
radio
so
station and said when
Raped
R.
him.
Kelly was 10 and he was 6.
The one y'all
She
calling
was
a monster,
sexually
it was done to him
molested.
first.
She would like grab his face, put it down in her private area until they called her look
I see where it boils down to though, D.
perform oral sex
I
on
see
him,
where it comes down
but
to.
her sister, you know,
It's
she's 16
foundation,
years old,
JR.
6 years old. my
It
brother
started
was
somewhere.
sick, you know?
We can't condemn that man
And
because of his
it
sicknesses,
does
bro.
plant that sickness. You know,
But-
I'm just saying.
But everybody like he's a monster, he's a predator. He was preyed upon.
Not condemn, but hold on.
If you're preyed on, does that make you not a predator?
But you have to start
Alright, now
to
listen.
yeah. You know,
That's just easier said than done.
You gotta be held
But-
accountable. So
but
let me
I
ask
said
you
this.
this,
where we
Dre.
gonna stop it? Where we gonna?
Okay, now listen.
I agree.
The whole thing is that, and once again, to kind of get back to the reason why we even, why I chose to talk about it, is not for the sake of talking about R. Kelly, but so when we go back into our everyday lives, we watch how we move.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know once my sons reach a certain age, I can't control them.
Right.
They become, they're in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm there for advice. I become their advisor. I can't make you do anything at that once you turn 18 legally. You know what I'm saying? But the way that I move is totally going to be different because I had to have that conversation with them though. So that's one positive thing that came out of all of this mess is that I sat down with them and I'm like, look, has anybody ever made you feel uncomfortable, touched you where you didn't necessarily want to be
These
touched
chicks
or
just
anything
as
like
sick.
that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was it was one of
All
those,
the time.
but it was one of those moments as a parent that, like, I was like, damn, I really don't want this answer. I really don't want this answer. All right, go ahead, answer.
Yeah, you
Hurry up and
gotta
answer.
brace yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it's the wrong fucking answer, it's like, okay,
You gonna kill
what
her.
happens now?
Yeah.
So, luckily, it wasn't the wrong answer. But what if it was?
Right.
You know what I mean? And we never knew. Those are the little things that I look at, that as a parent. You know what I mean? Like, if we could catch it early, especially with the over-sexualization of our kids now, it's like, niggas not paying attention. I frown when women post their kids. Especially, like, little girls.
Period.
Because the way this world is set up, motherfuckers, it's just a lot of weird shit going on. If it was genuine thoughts and pure thoughts, oh, I like the way you did her hair, nice. If it was just as simple as that, not a problem. But the world that we live in, unfortunately, is not that simple anymore.
I feel some type of way when I know a chick who don't be posting her kids. Like, You know what I mean? Like, nowhere in
She
sight.
got 'em.
Yeah, like, I don't like that. I thought you ain't loving them kids enough. I done dated chicks where they was at my house for like a week, come find they got kids. Like, you got kids, 5 of them. Girl, you better not come back till you go get them.
Y'all didn't have those conversations though?
Huh?
Y'all didn't have those conversations?
What conversation?
You got kids?
They
or
conversation
you
with
doing your
your
life?
Now, mind you, I'm an adult, so this was more of a, this wasn't that type of relationship. You know what I mean? This was,
Fuck.
Well,
yeah,
ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
because I'm an upfront type of guy
But
like
then
that.
for a whole week though,
I'm
the
not
kids
gonna,
didn't come up.
I'm not gonna
We're not talking
R.Kelly
about one
you.
night, we talking about a whole week.
No, I'm saying for real. We was getting on free gum. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? It wasn't that deep. It wasn't that deep. But when I found out, I made it that deep. You know what I mean? Like at first,
sometimes
when
they just don't get
I
that.
can't
sometimes you don't
relate.
get that deep. You may not be ready, but it's
I
realistic.
had a one night stand, but he knew I had a baby. We talked.
I thought it was a one night stand.
Y'all had a
Y'all
conversation. Hey, y'all had a conversation.
too much,
Hey,
girl.
that was not talking
That was
about
not talking.
that was a relationship.
That was a relationship in her
You
mind.
got me fucked up.
That's
One
right.
night stand. We ain't talking about your.
It's supposed to have been one night stand, but it turned into
You
like
blowing in her ear, she showing, she
Right.
been
Hey, you go in there, you know I got 2 kids.
Right.
Whoa, wait a
You get the
minute.
vibe. You get the vibe.
They go down there.
Whoa, what just happened?
Fuck y'all fun.
We just don't really feeling this anymore.
Can I say like what I said? So I mean I definitely agree with you, JR and Dre, as far as you know, we want to be so protective. We want to be protective over our children. But one thing that I really got from the R.Kelly documentary is that it confirmed that within a black community, conversations on the topic of molestation or somebody older hitting on you and you
Just
feeling
about to get into that.
it's like we sweep it under the rug so
I'm
much.
out now.
And I don't want to, because I know the rule today was
Oh
let's
no,
talk
we
about
was
you know,
we was
but
leading that way.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
it
so
just,
about that, you know what? We weren't talking about R.Kelly when we got into that. In our culture, in our community, we have started to overlook a lot of shit.
definitely, I totally.
A lot of our relatives, friends, and things of that nature. Oh no, you can't go over Uncle Mike's house by yourself.
You're like, why?
You know what I mean?
Uncle Mike seemed fun.
Because in our culture,
Yeah.
we don't have those conversations
Yes. It's
openly.
taboo.
it's like
Grandma might know about it, and
so
whoever it happened with know about it,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden y'all moving out of town.
But guess what's embarrassing? You invite Uncle Mike over for Thanksgiving dinner, and he sit diagonally from you at the table, and you know this is the man that's accused of XYZ in the
That's
family. But because we
But,
don't want to
you know-
talk about it,
And I think to the point though, a lot of people don't take it that far. Oh, I don't want to put them in jail.
yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people who are victims of that. And that is a dialogue that definitely needs to change within our community because
Absolutely.
it puts our kids at risk. It puts everybody at risk. If nobody knows, hell, I didn't know one of my cousins was in one of those situations
Right.
because nobody talked about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is this
grandma
family
knew,
secret?
and
Yeah,
I
grandma
think
knows.
also was one of the roots. And I'm not gonna say like, oh, it just don't happen because it's always been happening. Whereas you have young adults having kids, whereas they just like having sex. They don't want to be a parent. You know what I mean? They just want to have sex. When you get a kid in your lap, and like you really ain't signed up for this, you're not taking great care of this kid because you still the kid yourself. Your mind ain't to that extent of responsibility.
So you're not
So every time somebody want to watch your kid, you like, please.
Sure, me
Because
too.
that kid been crying all night and you stressed out or overwhelmed because you a kid. So now you're leaving that kid to anybody to watch or get in service, and that's when things happen. It's life changing.
And one thing that I think we all can agree on in this room, whether we think that R. Kelly was framed, whether we think R. Kelly paid our victims, whether we agree with R. Kelly or disagree, I can almost agree that everybody in this room won't let R.Kelly watch their underage
Hell
daughter.
no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell
Hell no. Whether we agree or not, we ain't letting them watch our underage daughter.
As the
And
song say, hell to the no,
hell
no,
to the no. You know, you can be a genius, you can be fun, but nah, you ain't watching my 12-year-old daughter.
But it should be knowing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I had children young, I was 17, right? I did not have relationships because I was not allowing anyone to come into my home to abuse my children. So what did I do? I just not did that. I forged on, built my career, had my children, and then when my children were old enough, then I was able to get it.
So you said you back dating now?
What?
I'm about to take you. I'm gonna have to take you.
Here it comes.
Oh yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm with Dre. I'm with Dre.
Winning.
Here it comes.
Yeah, I was Dre.
Definitely.
So that's what
Shoot
happens
this
with the
shot.
community. We have to, at some point, take responsibility for our own children.
Yeah.
Whether it's an individual single mother or whether it's a group of people, but we as a black community need to come together. It takes a village to raise children.
Very good.
And so we
But you
need
gotta know
to
who in
come
that village
together.
too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's going away on our culture though, man. That's in our culture. Our culture.
Because what we do
works.
is we gain fame or notoriety or we make money or we become successful and we forget all of this behind us. Because we think, well, we're just gonna leave that baggage back. But what we need to do is we need to help one another. Become better as a community.
Talk to you.
Because
Kids,
Asian communities,
questions.
they help one another. They get a business, they build one business, they get another business, they build another business, they help one another.
That's
And
true.
that's what we need to do.
But you know what? Like that's one of
But
the
we're so
reasons.
worried about not, if you're driving a Benz, I'm mad because you're driving one. Instead of us trying to help get one along with us.
That's like the rib cage, man. Like shit. I'm sorry because this ain't really like my spot for real. You know what I'm saying? Like shit. I just keep coming up here. I keep spending money. You know what I mean? You think I ever got some free wings or anything? Nah, this, you know what I'm saying? I get my liquor drunk. I get, you know what I'm saying? Like shit, nigga will die being there.
But at some point, this is a great forum that you have here, right?
Yeah.
So why are we not helping get our own forums? Why are we not making our own money? Why are we not putting our money back into our community and trying to make ourselves better? But we don't want to see one another be better than
It's
the
a
other.
competition instead of a compliment.
Instead of a compliment.
So now that's what my favorite vodka is from now on.
Mine too.
You know,
I
that's
told you
what my
I said,
favorite
listen.
podcast is from now on.
Right. That's who our favorite rapper is. You know, and but the thing is that all these things are, these things are realistic. You know what I mean? Like everybody not hate on everybody not trying to see each other down because like our show is like it's a hub for that. Where everybody come from different angles, but everybody like once you come here, we rocking.
Now you're rocking, but I never heard of your forum until today.
But you done heard it.
Now,
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
as I was telling a young lady, I'm in partnership with Joyce and Group Homes. I said I want a street. I don't care where the street is. I want a street. I want to remodel a street, and I want to give back to our community. I don't live in Cleveland, but I want to give back to Cleveland to try to build one another up. We can buy homes, a whole street. Let's get together. Let's buy a whole street. Remodel that street and give back to our community.
You know what? The guy to talk to about that is sitting right next to you.
Right. But I and your heart is so that speaks volumes about your heart, everything that you said. And I believe that I read a comic article by Charlie Brown, is it? A long time ago. And they said the way that you change the world is one person at a time, man. So that same heart, that same attitude, we should make sure that every time we come into a contact with another human being, we be that change, we be that difference, and everybody doing that, man. That's how things really happen.
That's how it works, right? Every woman I come in contact with, what do I say? Like, how are you doing today, beautiful? From the
She
time
calls
I call
beautiful like it's
every
our first
woman
name.
a beautiful woman.
That's
Because you
how
are
she
At the
beautiful.
end of the day, we don't get that, right? Because we're not positive enough. Because she might have a Louis Vuitton purse and this, I don't care. She's still beautiful to me, right? And we need to project that on one another. Young men, pull up your pants. Let's get this. Let's make better young men, right? But we're so don't want to do that we have to do that.
That's true.
Right.
Let's get
The
it
culture is just so
together.
messed up. Like
Culture is
nowadays,
messed up. Right.
nowadays, if like you tell a female like I may just genuinely find you beautiful. I I don't have the intention of taking you home. But I might just like, yeah, I might. They'll say you beautiful. They don't look at me like I'm so ill. Like I'm like, okay, damn. Like you can't even tell a woman that.
The other half of that though is because it's a lot of guys that lure on men. Women, young women, and it's not something that's like genuine.
And
so,
she been hackled for like 15 minutes. Then you come. You know?
So she got displaced.
And now you want me to say hi.
Listen, but it seems like it seems like it ain't no women. If I approach a woman, I'm like, how you doing? No, my name is
Think you
Wes.
live like that too?
Yeah, I'm gonna lick my lips. That's the process. That's what happened. So now when you tell your girls like, Wes, Wes, be licking his lips. Every time she So listen, if I can be like, how you doing? I see you busy, I don't want to interrupt, but I find you attractive. Can I call you later on? Now I'm being gamey because I'm being considerate of your time.
No, Wes, that was amazing. Because I've been approached with some fuck shit.
That's never worked. And it's not even game, that's the crazy part. It never worked.
I'm married as hell, but I would have been like, oh my gosh, let me give you my sister's number.
Not right. That in my mind.
Because when I say
That's
I'm
how it's
approached
supposed to
with some
play
shit,
out.
That in my
I had to
mind.
call my brothers and shit like, it's a nigga up here, call me a bitch.
In my mind, when I played out in my mind, like, this is the right way to approach a woman. In my mind, I visualize like the drawers just coming out right there on the spot. But it just don't happen that way. Like, all of them just folding. Right, that can be her all night. I'm gonna get that number later on. Right.
That don't mean I'm taking you home.
Right.
But I'm like,
You not?
okay.
He's in the show.
I thought we had a connection.
Damn, he's handsome. Right. If we uplift one another more, because I find you very attractive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. Wait a minute. So what we need to
Take
do
one more shot in this cold blue rock.
Right.
what we need to do is do that more often, so that we can get our black community back on the right track. I'm from a different generation than you young people are, but that's how we were raised, right?
They're not
These eyes and all this, I've heard that a million times.
I didn't been called a
But you know
All right, so let's do this. Let's do this deal. We gonna, like I said, we can only start with where we at. So look, I need everybody cooperate right now. I don't want nobody to be stern. This is for us, right?
Yes.
So this is what we gonna do. We gonna go around the room. I want you to compliment the person next to you. I'm gonna start off with mama right here. You are so gorgeous. I haven't got my glasses on, but I can see your teeth, man. Those teeth are so white. My mama say, and I'm a sucker for a pretty smile. I done dated some women who was not right because they had some pretty teeth. Mama, your teeth is gorgeous, man.
Thank you.
Your whole vibe, your whole energy is sexy, and you take care of your business. So I'm gonna pass on to you. You compliment the person next to you. We're gonna go around the room.
You already know I think you sexy and amazing and chocolate and thick and my favorite couple.
Show's taking a turn.
Right. That's love. So you, mama.
I don't want to leave Nicole out, so I'm coming over here.
Oh, that's my love.
Hi, Nicole. Listen. From the moment I walked in here, baby, them glasses, they just took me for a look, girl. I like the way you piece that together. Your rings, your nails is done. You look good. Thank you. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Shout for Nicole. And Nicole, you got to compliment somebody. Just give my honest compliment.
Okay, I can tell her, right?
If you want to, that's it.
You gotta move it on.
We're gonna go over here to her. I don't know what's your name. Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
When I first seen Melissa, I thought her skin was beautiful, and I thought her makeup was so on point.
Right. Okay, mama.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So you,
I
Melissa.
agree, you glowing, Melissa.
You glowing, mama.
When you walked in, I was like, yeah, who that?
Everybody was like,
You was too, you was too. I'm like, okay.
Right. Go ahead. You get Dre right. Get Dre right.
Be careful now, Dre. Go shoot
All right,
back.
Dre. You gotta look at her, Dre. Give her something to look at.
Give us some eye contact, G. He wasn't even paying attention.
You like, what's going on?
I like your hair, and you have so
Right. You still holding your gangster on that.
Right. Even if she complimented the
Right. You still gangsters, G. It's on you, Dre.
Go to Mama E.
He like, what I gotta do?
Mama E.
You got to compliment her on something.
He said, no, you know.
Oh, she fine. Like, wow.
She fine, like she.
Yeah.
Her mind to her
Everything.
fine.
She look fine.
Fine.
Thank you, bullshit.
Now grab back now.
Right. Let me get a
What's
check.
up,
Hold on.
in the room?
Alright now. Entrepreneur. Fine, sexy young man.
Right. Hold it down.
Hold it down. Vodka on point.
Yes.
On point. I'm taking
Who's
that
coming
side.
to Miami?
I've been to Miami.
Oh, we going to Miami.
Oh. We all want to Miami in a couple
You
weeks.
said April is our time to shine, right?
There you go.
You gonna bring
My
that
birthday
Miami?
in April too, so.
Oh, I'm trying to take on that trip too.
Yeah.
I wanna
We
go.
all go. We all
I don't
go.
know if anybody else is invited. The way this
Right.
conversation is going.
I'll bring out matches every time I go. We can all go to Miami.
Man, we can go for real.
Well, let's go to Miami. Let's promote.
Me and Nicole going to Miami in
Hold
3 weeks.
on.
Everybody go
You
with
know
it.
how to do it.
Hey, you know how
Wait, I thought you were compliments.
But you're amazing.
Robin.
And I'm so excited to see what you do with your chocolate brown. Wait a minute. What you doing?
We compliment each other. We compliment each other.
But anyway,
What's up, bro?
come on up.
Where's you on camera, bro? You on camera.
I'll be in.
There we go.
All right.
All
you got
right.
to
come around.
So ain't no secrets, bro. Ain't no secrets. No, have a seat, sweet sugar.
I like her energy.
You come, that's what I'm talking about. Compliment these young women. Tell them how beautiful they are, right?
You gonna go last? So who going next?
We just kind of got thrown off.
Yo, Black, what we doing is we changing the atmosphere. We going around the room, whether you know the person next to you or not, just give them an honest compliment, man. It's your turn. I want you to come to my love right here, give her a compliment based on just what you've seen.
What your perception is, young man.
We just building self-esteem here.
And here, let this lady.
Is it all right to say her beauty leaves me speechless?
Right.
All right.
That's understandable. That's
There you
understandable.
go.
That's
See?
understandable.
Blushing a little bit.
Right.
Man. See, there you go. Well, that was a nice.
It's on you. It ain't over with. It's over with.
No, I'm gonna go last. Go ahead.
Go last? Okay. He must got some up his
That's
sleeve.
his right there. That's,
No, you good.
no, I'm saying. I'm saying that's his vodka. When you taste
You
it now.
taste Mr. Ralph's vodka, bullshit.
Oh, this is your brand?
Okay, so your turn.
So it's my turn. So, Mr. JR.
Oh,
So,
my goodness.
I must admit, I've been following you on Instagram for years now. I was very impressed by the fact that you're articulate, the fact that you're very active within the African American community. You know, you're a photographer. If I'm not mistaken, you've done a couple stage plays.
Yes.
You know, so
Everything.
you know, you got an email list that you send active newsletters and stuff to. One time, my friend was having me basically help her computer. She was having some
Perfect
spam,
emails.
and I was like, "Wait a second." He be sending you. She's like, "Yeah, you want to follow him?" And I was like, "Let me see what this guy's about." And I was reading her newsletters, so I was impressed with the fact that you're active within the community. You know, you push the culture, you push the brand, and then when you hit me up, just the fact that you took a look at me and you saw something in me that maybe other people didn't see. The fact that you know all of this equipment, you're smart, you're very handsome. You know.
All right now.
You know,
That's enough.
That's
enough.
It's harmless. It's harmless.
You know, and I like the fact that you got a different opinion on things. I like the fact that you don't go with the crowd. You have your own opinion. So yeah,
I appreciate it.
Mr. Full Package.
Full
Package. That's like a porno name. Full package. I'm taking that name. Mr. Page. Mr. Full Package.
You gotta be blessing it.
Right. This feel good. This feel good though, man. Lift each other up, man. That's what matters, man.
Alright, so Ralph, man, it's on you, bro.
Mr. Full Package.
You ain't go yet.
Damn, okay, well, shit.
Oh man, you know I'm too conscious.
I got it. And so
Right.
I'm gonna hit the room, man, and I want to compliment everyone here.
Yeah.
For
Ooh,
even,
I should've done it.
I know you guys are here to support Mykayla.
Mykayla.
You know what I mean? For just taking the time out of your day to just check out and see what we're all about. There's so many people that we reach out to come check us out. You know what I mean? We know the weather is not ideal. It snowed last night for the first time all year. But, you know what I mean? So, shouts out to you guys for even just taking it out your time to come out and check us out. So, salute to each and every single one of you beautiful people for coming out. And I thank you for the feedback and the compliments. You know what I mean? You make me feel all warm and fuzzy. You know what I mean? If you want to marry a woman, girl, I tell you, I'll make a woman out of you. I tell you.
Mykayla effect. Mykayla effect.
But, all right, Rob, it's your turn now, man.
You kind of took a little bit of my sale.
I knew that's what you
Right. I wish I had thought of it first.
That's what you get.
No, it's, I mean, you always say the best for last, Dick. So what I want to do is say I want to, like you, compliment everybody for coming out. You know, me and you vibe last time. A man, you know, he walked in late. He came in with some great.
He's got off work. That's my guy.
No, but he came in with some great energy. Though,
Yeah.
like,
Hell
I
yeah.
felt it when he walked in the room before I even saw him. I felt
He sees fine.
For her over there, you are right. She does have a beautiful smile. She swagged out with the hat over here, but very overprotective of her. I yeah. Over there, she is swagged out with the glasses all night long. And Miss in the back, she does have a nice makeup look. And she's
She came
real
from
quiet.
Alabama to be here.
Real quiet.
Word.
Until she said what she said. I don't think she said nothing on that.
She has.
She had. My man right here for hosting.
He ain't say nothing.
He ain't said nothing about
But yeah, B, it's
but
on you.
he said more than enough though.
Exactly.
Sometimes you know silence is gold. So he said more than enough.
Us just being here says a lot
I
for me.
definitely love his energy. This man is gonna rebuttal everything.
He gonna stand up and point them fingers like,
I
look,
definitely
he gonna be heard.
Let's drink motherfucking water.
And
You know the name.
the Miss very, very established, distinguished Renaissance woman here. She's very, very fucking up my
I get my official t-shirt, B.
You get it now.
I get my official t-shirt.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, brother.
But keep showing up.
Yeah. She definitely brought a lot of energy. She definitely brought a lot of energy to the great energy. Not good energy, great energy. And then to our special guest, she asked me yesterday on social media, you know, how was it? How should she do tonight? And I said, that's what I said, just be yourself. And all the rest will take care of yourself. So tonight was definitely good. I'm glad I came out and helped support tonight.
Appreciate you, dog. I want to say this, man. Appreciate your support, man, dog. I made this post, and I don't think a lot of people really like understood what I meant by it. But when your friends start a business, you started a business. When your friends start moving, and it's, you know what I'm saying, with something, you start moving with it. Because without that first core customer, that first core base, what the fuck do you got? You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate Ralph, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause we met way before Cold Brew Vodka. You know what I'm saying? Like, we met on some crazy, like, fun shit, and it has evolved. And to see his growth and where he's about to take this brand, you know what I mean? Like, that's what the fuck I drink now. And I'm not even a drinker like that, but guess what?
I am.
I'm an alcoholic now.
We see you.
I'm not a drinker.
But
You
I was
before.
paying, my whole bottle gone.
I'll pay homage to you, Jay.
And you wonder why he got a buzz on the way home.
Right. Last time I took the bottle to the lips.
There is one more thing that I forgot to say from last month, where you told me I inspired you to buy your house. I did not know that, so I appreciate you.
Wow. I love that.
But that's growth, man. That's what friends are for. We're here to motivate each other and keep each other moving. I don't want stagnant people around me. When you become too stagnant, then I become stagnant. I can't have it.
Wait.
You know what I'm saying? So just keep that energy. You know what I'm saying? And understand that with Mykayla, am I saying it right?
Mykayla.
Mykayla has going on.
Like
you know
your
what I'm saying?
Kayla,
Like,
my Kayla.
Mykayla. See, I'm trying to be like careful
Oh, don't be a
because
possessor.
wifey sitting right there. This
Wifey
like man,
alright,
like
she knows
she
what she belongs, right?
like,
No, he knows
Wifey
it.
look like she got that 22, like the
Right.
girl.
I looked up.
I'm glad you know.
She does.
I'm glad you know.
I looked over there. I looked over there one time. She came up under the table with the shotgun.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So you know
Why
what I'm
she
saying?
know
Like,
what she belongs?
Did y'all like that exercise? Y'all didn't the vibe change?
we just took a shot. Everybody feeling good.
Hey, man, that was good vibe. Beautiful exercise. Thank you everybody for wanting to do it. You know what I mean? Like that did something for me. It was either that or the cold blue, but either way, I'm like this. Man.
Me too.
Right. Let's get another shot.
They got the love now. So look, on the topic of your video that you dropped, which shut that out real quick.
Thanks. That was.
That's how we can find it.
Listen, I'm gonna provide a link on the video so y'all can see it. It's gonna be like right here. But please shout out to
Right
Yeah.
here.
So if you just go to YouTube and you type in Set Mona Off, you should see me pop up. Go ahead and click that, or if you want to follow me on any social media platforms at my_Kayla. I'm gonna have the link embedded everywhere. Go ahead and click on that link, and you're gonna see the full video.
All right.
Are you performing? Is she performing?
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
so that's what I was about to ask you real quick. You know what I'm saying? Can you give us a little snippet real quick?
Snippet of what happens?
Yeah.
Alright. So, Set Mona Off is about 4 best friends with a criminal plan to make money by any means necessary. But we got a few things that get in their way, such as police,
Right.
such as backstabbing people, such as a secret vendetta that get in the way. So the song in itself is about 6.5 minutes long, so I'll do a little piece of it for y'all. So
Like 8.
yeah, it is. It's like
I got to watch it.
Go
you don't mind
ahead.
the
Yeah, I'm
the
not
cursing?
there.
Okay. Alright. So here's what happened. So it was 4 bitches at the riches. They was tired of washing dishes, so they made a big plan to start a small business. Jay had an idea, and the other 3 listened. They said, let's rob niggas who be whipping in the kitchen, who be selling that work and making them Benjis. They'll never fucking know. We can go to other cities. We was apprehensive, but the plan was convincing. We ain't had much to lose because we all in the trenches. 4 hands in, we was thick like sisters. So if one of us is in, then we all would get it. We gave ourselves 3 months to get a lump sum. Then we'll leave Cleveland and move where it's sun. We found the first dope boy in Chicago. He saw Pearl at the club and he started spitting like he Rondo. We made a fake page. He found her on the ground. He had a verified account, so he must have been the man. We came with a plan that involved the caravan, and we stuck like we can, like 100 fucking grand. Of course, he ain't filed no report to the police. He was too embarrassed and he would have looked sweet. Assault, he's supposed to be the boss. He took it as a loss, cause it was his fault. Now we on to the next. We in the South with the squeeze. We found the ugly nigga on the club across T. We made him feel special, so we got us in free. He gave us a section and got us mad drinks. He called us for a trap queens, whatever that means. We shut his ass up when we stuck him for the green. Then we hit Detroit, Atlanta, and Philly. Now we sitting on like $500,000. We thought we had it covered, but karma is silly. Police came through, find the rest on at my_Kayla.
Right.
Where you go? It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story.
Hey, that song like way spoke to my inner stick up here. Like I feel like robbing something tonight.
I don't like
Who
that.
will?
Go ahead and say click, clack.
Right, we the Columbus, y'all. That's the group.
Funny story though. So on my way down here, like I'm packing up my bags, and I go on Facebook, and how you scroll and you see like the little news stories. There's a story that happened yesterday where a guy called 911 to complain about some chicks that he picked up They robbed him. And then it was like, he was like, and they gave terrible sexual services.
And he wanted $500 back.
Listen, I'm like, nigga. Like, how you do realize all this shit's illegal, right?
Exactly.
So it was just funny, and then, you know what I'm saying, like, with the storyline that's going on with tonight. It's
We
crazy.
taking them up top.
So, all right, guys, it's about that time of the night. All right,
Oh, wow.
we're gonna do our full circle. Now, my point of view on our opening story is this. We're gonna go each individual, right? My point of view is this. Once again, leaving out the underage women, only addressing the women that were 18 and older. That's what we call free will and good game. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, like, when you have that gift of gab, sometimes you use your powers for evil, and that's how the shit plays out. Once again, this is my perspective, and this is how I look at it. Those women, once they turn the age of 18, they were given that free will to do and move however they choose to move, and their parents, I believe, you know what I'm saying, just from watching the video and just learning more things about what's going on behind the scenes, are just there for a money grab. And or the money grab went south, and now they really pissed off. Because it just, everything just doesn't add up to what they're saying. I get it. If you're truly upset that you're not speaking to your child, that's one concern. That's valid. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, however, it might be your child that doesn't really want to talk to you. But once again, that is my perspective. But it takes us back to, as we go into our day-to-day lives and we raise our kids, how we raise our kids, creating that bond and that relationship that's genuine and not to extort them in the long run. So that's my 2 cents on, you know what I mean, those women. For the women that were 35 and over, they definitely fucking knew better, and they got themselves into something that they really wanted to be into in the first place. So I'll give the baton to West.
Right. So is these like closing remarks?
No, we just kind of just recap. Before we move on.
Okay. I just feel like that this world, like, nothing new is under the sun. Like, I mean, like, this world is so complex. You know, I always tell somebody when they be hell bent on thinking a certain type of way, that the world is bigger than you think. So it's just like everything that goes on in this world, good and bad, you know, it comes with the territory now. Like, good and bad is gonna happen to the good and bad. Crazy stuff gonna happen, miracles is gonna happen. It's just the world we live in. I'm not saying this to be insensitive to these things, but being realistic with myself so that I won't be so overwhelmed when I see things happening on this earth. It's just like, it's messed up in my eyes, but it's just like, all I can really do is just focus on me and make sure I'm checking IDs. Because when I was coming up, you could look at a girl and she had a tattoo, you like, she grown. You know what I mean? Nowadays, like, ain't no telling, like, these girls be like 13, looking 50. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? As far as the way they put themselves together, man. So it's just like, this world messed up, man. And it's me, and all we can do, and everybody, is just protect ourselves, man. Protect those around us, man. Just be mindful on our end. You know what I mean? So that's just big.
All right. Miss Mykayla.
So one thing from today, definitely just to speak into our brown and black sisters, just making sure they're okay. Asking them questions. They've ever been through something, asking them how they felt about that situation, asking about their perspective, and, you know, just talking to them, being that outlet for them. Also, like JR said, checking on your kids. If you have a loved one who's underage or who's at that impressionable age, just talking to them, letting them know you don't have to be persuaded when you see somebody with money or see someone with status. Just telling them that you love them and that they're beautiful, so that if someone comes around and tells them that, they're not impressed by that because they've already been told it, you know, in their household.
Exactly.
Anybody in the field got anything that they would like to add to any of those statements?
Right.
Those bitches want it.
Right. We'll let Drake calm down. We'll let Drake
Hey,
calm down.
my only remarks is Mykayla was hard, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just gonna say, thank you for having me here.
Yes,
It took a lot for me to come back down here, right? But Mykayla's was my main focus to come here. But it was more than that, right? And I just want everyone to realize that we just need to all come together as a community. And let's just try to help one another better. Let's one up. Each one teach one. Let's get it together.
Just getting back to the basics, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, uncomplicate your life a little bit.
Yes, yes.
So
I want to come more though.
there it is, man.
We want you. We want you.
We
here.
want you.
Yeah.
We want you to
And we
come.
want to come wherever you at, whatever you got going on.
Wes definitely wants to come wherever you
I'm
at.
definitely gonna be wherever you at.
He gonna be there.
I want to say that. I think that connection is
And I would like to connect you with some people that's in your area. You know what I mean? I feel like y'all be even more powerful together.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
And it's all about creating that network and utilizing that network.
Definitely.
So, I mean, if there's anything that we have at our disposal that can help you move forward, definitely feel free to reach out.
You need a driver. Next time y'all go to hit them licks off of Columbus.
Off the camera, Wes, off the camera.
Right. That's a good concept though. Like,
We gonna get the guys drunk off the vodka, you know?
You know what I'm saying? That cold blue.
Damn.
Hey, you gotta have that cold blue in it though, you know what I mean? A hoodie or something, you
We
know what I
gonna
mean?
feed them some ribs, some rib cage.
Right.
There it is, man. Hey, look, it took for me to do a show here to finally get this damn shirt. Listen, he think he's slick. He only gave me this shirt because I complained on camera about not getting nothing. But I definitely appreciate this shirt.
Real for everybody. Real for everybody.
So
Hey, Lake Erie Homos?
no, say no, people. Say no.
Right,
Just say
I'm like,
no.
what's that?
You don't want to know.
Water on the rocks.
Water on the
Water
rocks.
on the ride.
Water on the rocks. I fell for it once.
That's a good one.
I was like, he actually gave me some free. Hell he did. They came back with a glass of water. Like,
On the rocks.
all right, man. So, at this point in time, what we usually like to do is open up the floor for any topic that you guys would like to bring, and we will kind of like get into it. I think we got enough time to do one, maybe two.
You know what? It kind of just happened. But what I would love is like the energy to walk through the door. This dude is like the sickest poet you would ever meet in your life. And this dude,
Do me like that.
And this dude is the sickest poet. We on camera. We on camera. But this dude, you know, I ain't gonna say that about anybody, man. I ain't gonna say that about anybody, man. This guy, he taught me some things, man. Like a lot of things that I'm part of business today, I learned from this man. You know what I mean? And you got something for us, brother, man. That would be so dope right now, man. You would change our lives. For you to let them feel what I feel anytime that I hear you. Just express yourself.
Because I have nothing on file right now.
You got files right here.
I'm saying, you know what I mean? Come on, man.
Come on, bro.
You want me to go first to kind of break the ice and give you some chance to?
Yes, subject matter or something.
I'm gonna go first, just to make you feel a little bit more at ease. You know what I mean? Just to get you in the zone.
I ain't gonna
time.
be at ease, but I'm gonna go.
Right.
Do it though.
All right, so I'm gonna break the ice for him just to make him feel. I apologize, Jay. I said he was going somewhere with it. But I just felt the Holy Spirit take over. Right. So I'm gonna do a little poetry for y'all, man, just to get things rolling, man. And my big homie, he gonna follow me afterwards once I'm done. So, I swear that I had to go against my circle just to be this square. And to have this air, that I'm full of so much more than air, I had to stare square into the eyes of anyone willing to try angles that would wreck or table me as anything less than a fire, which burns in my bones, turns in my toes, hurt in my tone and runs like a herd in my soul. But I must urge that this surge in my soul is a result of everything that life has served to my soul, which are trials and tribulations. Try to picture me as a child with tribulations. So there's no surprise that years later I would end up on trial for tribulations. Insinuations that would have me waiting for the next 10 years to be awakened from what seems like a bad dream. But what seemed like a bad thing was actually God saving my life, stage in my life, so that I may be here on this stage at a stage in my life where a stage in my life are one and the same. So give me one and some change to put one in your chain. Burn, blur, out any tips that are hollow, sip, swallow. From the years that I've bottled my emotions, bottled in my emotions, where I found out that I was the most creative at the bottom of my emotions. And for the women who bottle my emotions, know that you are the reason why my poetry is now a model for emotions. So come, follow my emotions into the fire from which I came, which I claim to almost be claimed by the fire. Everything that I am now, I became by the fire. And if you get close enough, you can still smell the propane. I'm so optimistic about my opposition, you would swear that I was pro-pain. But no, I just know pain. Down to the fire. I learned that in this life, you got two options. You either be burned alive, or you be refined by the fire. Be refined by the fire. Thank you. That was an icebreaker. That was an icebreaker for me. That was the icebreaker, man. That was like 25 on each side. That's just to warm the blood up.
I'm a freestyle, y'all. This is about to be like everywhere, probably.
Right, go with it. Go with it.
Bars and bars.
Right.
All black on a cold night. Speaking my life into a gold mic. And my soul feeling kind of old, but play a dolomite.
Right.
I don't pimp. I don't sell women. If I sold anything, it would have to be for the cream. Grab a hold of the American dream. But in my hands, I feel the pain from the venom. Seeping in them. And I'm starting to have visions of running up in the White House, trumping everything in there, because lately I really don't care for this dude that barely got any hair, or I mean, maybe I just got an attitude because I just did 10 years and I came home and I couldn't find any balance. I couldn't raise. I couldn't really find my altitude. If that's the word that I'm looking for, I started calculating and God gave me more raw. I'm talking about when I say I've been blessed in the last 30 days, more than ever in my life before, is because I bless even more. Everywhere I go, I flow gold. I bring people into the fold. And little dudes and little girls, I bring them, they like clay, you know, they get molded. They get molded on my table. Everywhere I go, I swear I got no favor. They smile at me. It's my spirit happy. Because for real, I came home to do it. Even if I was to go back to jail, I'm doing everything I'm doing for my family. And I'm cool. Even if I end up deep in the dirt. And you see them streets gonna hurt, because the things that them little squeeze, swear to God, because everything just seemed like it just getting murked. When I came home in the cities, it's just gritty and grimy and slimy, and everybody's lying and nobody's telling the truth, and the proof is in the pudding. And look at Bill Cosby. Yeah. I don't know, I just see a lot wrong, but one thing I say, I didn't come to sing no song. Like I said, it was going to be sporadic. I was just, it's been a long time, so I just don't have at it. If you listening, I hope you really felt me. I hope it was illmatic. Somebody really like to add up their facts. I thank God for West too, because Because when we was in a situation, I'm talking about incarcerated, he showed me how to navigate with peace through a stress pool. I love him for that.
I really kept you said that the pool was in a pudding, then he came back to Bill Cosby, like, that was good. He was tap dancing.
I ain't there yet no more.
No, you there.
I ain't been nowhere near there.
You there. We felt every word you said.
Don't doubt yourself.
I go, no, I'm not
Don't
doubting
doubt nothing.
I don't
You
doubt
understand me?
you don't know what I can do. What I just did was nothing like what I can do.
That was still dope.
We can tell, but you can still.
Round two then.
Round two.
Round two.
Don't play with us.
Round two. I'm gonna come back around and back me up. I come back around and back me up. Right. They hollering.
Let my kid take you down. Come on.
So I said something one time. I said, bean pies being sold on the corner of 105. A brown-skinned brother in a suit untailored. Right hand is the dish, left hand is the paper. Depiction of Prophet Muhammad, not the plain dealer. My disinterested best left his soul at rest. I felt bad because of the lack of respect I showed. I peeled off at a red light, the exhaust from my tailpipe. Let this oversized suit wrinkle wet and cold. Religion. So I felt you. I felt you.
I felt that. We felt that.
We felt that. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, we appreciate having you, Black.
Hey,
I appreciate you.
I'm
you know you ain't about to
table, they ain't spitting nothing.
Right.
You know how fighting?
But you already know you know my voice.
Come on, man.
You knew when you came, when you was driving up here, you should like, do I got my foot?
You know when I was driving up there, I said West ain't gonna do me like that.
No, you know me. You know me better than that.
Hey, we appreciate those. We appreciate those bars, bro.
We appreciate you, bro.
Okay, so now look, we got time for one topic now, guys.
One more
Thank you
shot.
very much. So if anybody got anything on their heart that they would like to share with the congregation, please feel free to bring it to the table and let's talk about it. Oh, B, that's what I'm talking about. My God. Boy, I tell you. This one got the logo on it. Oh, he got the, this guy.
I just wanted to say that here at the Ribcage Smokehouse Bar, we appreciate and respect all of you equally in conflict. And here, the sauce is the boss, but the meat has a beat. And take it how you want it.
Right,
that's
right.
our slogan. You can catch us on West 25th, Ohio City, or right here at 2214 Lee Road. I thank my man Wall Street West.
Appreciate you, bro.
And this guy right here that gives me all the trouble he can give me.
Right.
Every
That's
time he
love,
comes to
man.
see me. And I
That's
love
love,
it.
man.
Keeps me on my game. So y'all appreciate you bringing the
Appreciate you,
crowd.
man.
Bringing these beautiful people out here tonight to support.
There it is, man. It's all about networking, man.
Absolutely.
It's all about networking.
Absolutely. So that's love.
Let's break out the camera as always. We didn't let the
I
flash
just got my haircut today too, so I'm so glad this happened. I was like,
You ready?
they was like, why you don't know let me do that? You might mess the follicle up. So yeah, man.
But look, man, I want to shout you out, man, because I called you at the last minute. Because some shit came up on our end, and it was like, yo, it was no hesitation. Like, yeah, bring it. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why we're able to be here tonight. And that's all, that's greatly appreciated, man.
I got your back like a spine.
This guy, man.
I got your back like a
And
spine.
look, all you need is that fur coat that you had on last week.
Hey, look, it's in the cleaners. It's in the cleaners. My driver hit the corner to me.
Feel some yak on my
$200 suit.
Feel some yak on my $200 suit. Alright, so look, man, without further ado, man, we want to say thank you guys for coming out, man. Give yourselves a round of applause. And that has been the Convo 216 for this week, man. Let's get it.
Bars and bars, we need bars and bars. I feel like freestyle.